dog don't try to come in.
Oh, yeah. I hope my chickens don't try to come in.
Hi, so we're live. Hello, everyone. Welcome to day two of Women's History Month series. I am here with my guest, Anita Warren, and we met a few years back when I got diagnosed with breast cancer, and I was looking for ways to detoxify my body from treatment and to begin my healing process. And I came across her after I signed up for this detox group with a sauna, and I found out that niacin can help you detox deeper. And so that's how I met her. And so we'll hear from her in a few moments. But I know that I'm live streaming today to Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. And I want to make sure everyone knows who I am. So I am Marshelle Harris. I am a national board certified health and wellness coach, a doTERRA impact wellness advocate, a sound healer, a speaker, and an author. I have two books I've written: Cancer Won't Stop Me, Unleash the Power Within to Not Just Survive But Thrive After a Diagnosis, and Become a Cancer Boss, Unlock the Keys to Boss Cancer and Not Let It Boss You. And I also co-authored two books, co-authored Joy 365 Devotional and Cancer Survivor Series Stories Volume 1. So that's a little bit about who I am. And I am also the founder and CEO of Wellness for Life. So I would like for Anita to tell you a little bit about her and who she is and her story, anything that she feels comfortable sharing today.
Okay, you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, okay, before I tell about myself, though, I would like to mention about Marshelle because when I met Marshelle, it was kind of at the beginning of her cancer story. And it makes me feel weepy just to even talk about it in a good way because she she was writing the book and she was going through the things that she went through. And I have to say that I admire her so much from where she was then and where she is now. It's like a different person, but not really a different person, but just she's come full circle and becoming an advocate, how she took a negative experience and made it into a wonderful, beautiful, positive experience. And I admire that so much. And I don't want to forget to say that. So I want to say it now. All
Thank
right.
you.
So you're welcome. Thank you. Because you've inspired my life too, you know. So um, I learned how to deliver this sauna program in 2004. So I've been delivering it for 20 years. And I first had the program run on me when it first came out in 1980. So that was 45 years ago. I received the program. And it was more difficult of a program than it is now because we don't do 5 hours a day in the sauna now at the highest possible temperatures. We were more or less torturing ourselves, but everyone did great. So we just put up with it and we did it. And but now, and then I was always interested in learning how to deliver it to others. So finally in 2004, I finished my training on it and I started delivering it myself. And that's about the
Mhm.
same time, as far as I know, that infrared saunas came out. So before that, it was the old traditional rocks, the saunas with the rocks, you know, that got really hot. Um, so I've been delivering it remotely mostly. I deliver it at my home or my center, you could say. Uh, it takes about 3 weeks for a person to receive and get to the end point on it. Generally, about 3 weeks. The thing is, we live in a very toxic world. And I'm sure everyone knows that now. We didn't know that way back. The program was designed really for people who were drug users, heavy drug users, and all that. Um, but now it's become very popular just for people who are concerned about their health and they want to be detoxed. They don't like all the detox the toxins that are in their body, including radiation. This program does detox radiation, as well as drugs, chemicals, you name it, toxins. So, what does niacin do? You go, okay, so we sit in the sauna every day. Now we do the program, we sit in the sauna for about an hour and a half. You can even do it in an hour a day. So, but niacin makes you, niacin is a B vitamin. It's vitamin B3. And there's a book about niacin. It's called Niacin, The Real Story. It's the best book on the subject. And it's written by some very, very smart doctors that have been around a long time ago. This was their second book. It just came out. It's like the next edition to it. And it really has the truth about niacin, what it does, and all that. So niacin, when you first take it, most people, well, pretty much everybody, you turn red and you itch and you feel all prickly. And that's not a detox reaction, that's a histamine reaction. But it's something that we put up with when we take niacin so that we can get to the detox part. So at the beginning, you get these reactions of feeling hot and a flush and prickly, itchy, and then that goes away usually in about a half hour. And then after a couple of hours, then the fat cells open up and they release the toxins. And that's when you go in the sauna and you sit there and you sweat and the toxins are circulating. You did some quick exercise before you go in the sauna, and then that way everything's circulating, and then it comes out while you're sitting in the sauna sweating.
Okay. And okay, I wanted to stop you right there. So
Yeah.
you're answering like all of my questions.
Okay. Oh, okay.
So I want to go back. All right.
Okay.
So tell me a little bit about what made you get into health and wellness in the first place.
Oh, what inspired me to?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Like what
okay.
inspired you
Well,
to like? Yeah.
yeah. I know that I'm divinely inspired. I know that, and I've for many years wanted to help people and just help people become better and healthier and all that. But a few years ago, I got this really big inspiration that said that my purpose was to connect people to their best healing.
Yeah.
And when that came to me, that was a very strong moment. Connecting people to their best healing. And that's what I want to do. And that's what I like to do. So I felt that
Yes.
detoxing is the first step in healing. That
Yeah.
you have to get the toxins out of the way. And then treatments will work better.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that because when I was going through my journey of treatments, when I was in cancer treatments and I was in taking radiation and chemo and all the things, and I was having all of the side effects, the first thing I thought about was I need to get these toxins out. I mean, I decided
Exactly.
to go through the treatment, but I knew I needed to have some kind of process of getting them out as well because I didn't want them to stay in my body and cause a lot of havoc and damage. So I invested in my health, and for the first time, I bought my own personal sauna. I used to always love going to the sauna at the gym, but after research, I found out about infrared saunas and how it's different than the one with the rocks and the heat, and you put water on and all of that. And so I was like, okay, well, I need to get an infrared sauna because that is going to detox me more deeply and cause more healing in my cells. So I joined a group with people who were purchasing their saunas. And then that's how I found out about you, which I'm so glad I did because the people in the group was giving me wrong information.
Yeah.
So
Oh, yeah.
The first wrong information they gave was to take the niacin that you mentioned before. They said, "Oh yeah, you'll have a reaction, but start off with 500.
Oh,
Start off with 500." And they like, "Do not eat." So the very first
oh.
time I took my niacin, and I was like, "Okay," because first time I took it, I ate with food. I didn't really have that much reaction. The second time they said, "Oh, don't take it with food." And I'm like, "Okay." So I did that, and I had the worst reaction. It was terrible. Like I was so hot all over, like heat, like my whole body was on fire, and the whole room got dizzy. Like it felt like I was still sitting, but it felt like I was moving, and just the world was just moving around me. It was like scary. And then I threw up all over my bathroom, and it was
Oh.
so crazy that my daughter had walked in, and she was like, "Mom, do I need to call 911? Like, what is going on with you?" And I was like, "Oh, baby, no, don't worry. I just took a vitamin." So I know she was like, "A vitamin did this, you know."
Yeah.
But it was like really scary. So after that, I would realize I needed to get some help, someone who knows exactly what they're doing. And then that's when I found out about you. So yes.
Yeah. And you know, that website that you're talking about where people give each other bad information, I
Yeah.
can't even read that website. It's still like that. There's a few good things on it. It's definitely good things, but
Yeah.
I can't read it because if I read it, I get too upset and then I just want to go in there and tell everybody. And I don't want to take over the website, you know. So I just let it be, but I get a lot of people really compliment my work on that website. And so
Mhm.
I get a lot of people reaching out to me from there. And that's great. That's what I really want. And then I can advise them from there. But one thing good about niacin is that it can't hurt you. It
Mhm.
it it hurts you.
I mean, you would
It
throw up.
hurts.
You
Yeah.
throw up before it hurts you.
But it's not going to damage you. It can't
Right.
damage you. No, even if you take way thousands of milligrams, it's not going to damage you. And
Right.
sometimes people have gone to the emergency because they didn't know what was happening. And then they'll find some doctor who doesn't understand
And
niacin
it.
and will say,
Right.
"Oh, you must be allergic to niacin." Well,
Right.
I don't think anybody's allergic to niacin, but it makes everybody turn red and itch. So, and if
Yep.
you take way too much, it's going to be even worse. So it could be scary. So that's why people should really do the program with me. They shouldn't do the program on their own.
Mm-mm. Exactly.
Yeah, yeah. So, but there is a book about it. Do you want me to mention that?
Yes.
The book by Mr. Hubbard. It's called Clear Body, Clear Mind. And that was the original book that Mr. Hubbard wrote. I'm trying to think of when. I believe it came out in the 70s or maybe right around 1980. And you can do the program on yourself from that book, but that's not even recommended because you have a rough time. It's a difficult book to read, and then you don't know when you read the book. The average person doesn't know what's important and what's not important in this book. And so they'll get fixated sometimes on the unimportant things. And I know exactly what's important and what isn't. So it's way better if you use me. And I'm not real expensive. Um,
No.
no. So, um, and then you're going to consult with me every single day while you're on the program. And for most people, the program takes about 3 weeks average.
Yes, and I've been through the program 3 times. I think this time is going to be my fourth time going through it. So I definitely recommend this program at least once a year or twice, but definitely at least once, to just kind of take the time to really, really detox your body from all the medications you've taken in life, all the alcohol you drink, like anything that you've been doing that's not great. It detoxes from the fat cells, which is not like anything else, right?
Yes, yes. And there's an interesting thing about radiation because I
Mhm.
believe that we aren't told the truth about how much radiation is on our planet and is coming to us. And the interesting thing, Mr. Hubbard, the same author, wrote a book called All About Radiation. It's out of print, but you can get it. And it's very interesting because he talks about how radiation goes into our bodies, but it doesn't come out. It stays. But radiation will go through a brick wall, but it won't go through a body. It stops in a body. So we accumulate radiation through our lifetime. And when you get too much of it, you can get sick. And when you get way too much, you can die from too much radiation. So when we do this sauna program, it cleans us of the radiation. So we get a fresh start. So I'm so sold on it just for radiation reasons. And of course, the sun gives us a certain amount of radiation too. So sometimes when people are sitting there in the sauna, they notice, women especially will say, "Oh, I remember that swimming suit," because they'll see the lines from that swimming suit and where they turned red and from the sun, but their lines are there from where they didn't get the sun. So I always thought that was quite interesting as well.
Okay. Yeah. So that brings an interesting point about the radiation because, as a cancer survivor, I had radiation. And so that probably is
Yes.
something that I forgot that it really helps. But can you go a little bit into detail how this protocol can help cancer survivors?
Yes, because um, you know, well, the chemo and the radiation, and I don't know what all drugs you get
Right.
when you're, yeah, and you probably don't know what all.
Yeah.
They just go,
I
"Here,
never know
take
what's
this," right? Yeah. And
yeah.
so this program detoxes, all of that stuff runs out. Now, a lot of the things, when you'll recognize it, there's some things like, just as an example, a drug. Well, I'll give you an example from way, way back in the 1980 when I first did the program. I had, way back then, I was in my 20s and I had smoked dope quite a bit back then. And I had stopped it completely in 1977. So for the next 3 years, I never smoked any dope at all.
Wow.
But in 1980, I was sitting there in the sauna one day and I got really paranoid. I thought to myself, everyone hates me. I'm the most stupid person. Everything I say, nobody is even interested in hearing. Nobody likes me. I just sat there and I was so embarrassed. So I finished my sauna for that day and I got showered and got dressed and I'm on my way home and I thought, this feels just like when I used to smoke dope. And I went, oh, that's what it was. And that's exactly what it was. And
Wow.
at that
That was like
time, then
years ago.
the whole thing, the whole thing blew off then. But that stayed in my fat cells for 3 years. And it
Right.
was just marijuana. That's all it was. So it's interesting. So a lot of the things, like dental things, sometimes people will experience Novocaine or different dental procedures, just different drugs. They'll notice, but it's never as strong as it was in the beginning when they first took it. But they'll recognize it a lot of times, these
Yeah.
certain drugs. Yeah. So, and that's when the drugs are running out. So the drugs are coming out of the fat cells. They're circulating in your body again. You're re-experiencing it, and then out it goes and it's gone. So that's how it works. And some people need to do the program more than once. It depends on what their toxicities are. There's a few things that are difficult to detox. Um, One of the things sometimes you get in a hospital is called gadolinium. It's when you have a scan. They have you drink this stuff so that they can read the scan. And
Yeah.
it's
Better.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's a mineral or it's a chemical, and it's difficult to detox, and it can make some people really sick. Also mold. A lot of people these days live in a house with mold in it and they don't realize it. And the mold goes into their bodies and it can make them very sick. And mold is very hard to detox. So sometimes it takes 2 or 3 go arounds in this program to get rid of the mold.
Okay. And would you recommend this protocol for cancer survivors and it's safe and effective?
Absolutely, it's safe. In fact, I've had people do the program before their treatment, during their treatment, and after their treatment.
Okay.
All those different times. And it's fine. All it's doing is detoxing you, and it is safe. We do it very gently. I always like to say I love the person through the program because
Yeah.
they're scared, nervous, and I, although I'm remotely uh, connected, I feel like I'm taking you by the hand and helping you through the program. And you're going to have times when you experience reactions that can be scary. So it's very important that I get a report from you every single day, and I tell you how much niacin to take the next day, and so that we very gradually work you through the program.
Yes. And I think you do an excellent job. Like you say, holding people's hands. I definitely feel like he was holding my hand and he was always there and available
Yeah,
going through the program. So I definitely recommend getting some assistance when you're doing it and not doing it by yourself because something could happen and you don't know what to do. And it's good to have someone there that you can reach out to that is experienced and know what to do because it can really, really help you. But the benefits are amazing. I think this is like one of the things I did that finally helped me to lose weight. Because remember how I was always when I first started
yes,
2 times, I was like, why am I not losing weight? Like there's something wrong with me.
yeah, yeah,
Around
exactly.
the third time, I finally just started losing weight. You remember I called you and I was like, Anita, it's working.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And usually, if people they usually don't lose weight while they're on this program, but
Yeah.
they can lose weight after the program more easily than they could before.
Hmm.
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was really wonderful because I didn't ever think I was. But this was one of the things I did to help detoxing. So I definitely recommend that. Okay, so my next question is what advice would you give others about anything that you shared today? Or what is the first thing they can do to get started?
Oh, well, they would contact me, and
Okay.
my website is saunadetoxprogram.com. Very easy. That's all it is. Saunadetoxprogram.com. And then from there, you can send me an inquiry. And there's a lot of information there on the website. It's not too complicated. And and then just send me a little communication from the website and ask me about it, and then I'll give you all the information. Usually what I get from you first is I have you fill out a questionnaire that I have with lots of questions, because I want to know as much as I can about you. And then after that, then we have a uh, video interview, usually on Zoom, because I just give someone the Zoom link, and then we talk, and then they can ask me all the questions, and I tell them what supplements uh, to get, so that they can, in order to start, because you do need some supplements. You need niacin, for example, and a
Mhm.
few other items that are important to take while you're on the program, because you don't want to get vitamin deficient while you're on the program. That's important because it's a lot of stress on the body to do this program. Uh, the niacin, for one thing, because it creates those reactions. And then sitting in the sauna, although a sauna is very nice, it can be almost like pampering yourself, but you don't want to have it too hot. You want to have it just hot enough so that you sweat, just hot enough. And that's how you get a good fat sweat, because you want it, the sweating, to come out of your fat cells, not just a water sweat. So that I send you
Right.
all those instructions. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that was one of the biggest things that I did differently the last time I did it was not having my so high, because I think before it was like, oh, try to get it as hot as you can and hot as you can stand it or whatever. Probably wrong information, but finally tried the lower. At first I was like, well, it's not really hot, but I was still sweating. So I think
Yeah.
definitely did it for me, and those fat cells begin to release those toxins, and yes, that was very great.
Yeah.
So I think the whole
Yeah.
program,
And
awesome.
yeah. And really, a person can use any sauna as long as you sweat. The program is working, because some people think, oh, I don't have the right kind of sauna. Any sauna works if you sweat. Now, if you don't sweat, the program isn't working. So you got to sweat. That's important. But if a person feels like it's too expensive to buy a sauna, well, there's cheap little saunas you can get, portable ones, or you can go to the gym and just pay for a gym membership and go to the gym every day and use their saunas. And I help you with that. If that's what you do, I give you advice on how to ask the people at the gym, the best way to use their saunas so that you get the most benefits from it.
Okay. Thank you. Well, I think that was, one question I forgot to ask. So now I know that you moved abroad, and so you had to get your sauna there in Mexico. How did you manage that?
Oh, if I had to do over, I don't even know if I would do it. It was so hard. Yeah. But I had a friend who he found this sauna for me. It was a used sauna, and he and I got a little trailer, and he broke it down, put it in the trailer, and drove it down here. And from Sacramento is where it was, and then down here to Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. And it was an adventure of him getting it here, which I don't even want to go into. and but he finally got it here, and it was in pieces. And then I had a guy put it together who didn't speak English, and I didn't speak Spanish. So I just thought, he's never going to get this put together right. It'll never happen. My dream was that he would put it together, we'd plug it in, and it would come on
Hmm.
like it was supposed to. So he claimed that he knew what to do. I gave him some schematics about how it was supposed to be designed and all that. And he put it all together. And it's on my balcony right now, right out here, overlooking the ocean. It's really nice. And he finished it. We plugged it in, and it came right on.
Oh,
Uh,
amazing.
it was a miracle, I thought. Yeah. But he was a really smart guy. Just because he didn't speak English didn't mean he didn't know what he was doing. But it's
Right,
just that
right.
I couldn't really supervise him. Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm
So
glad you got it, because I know you were saying you just can't wait to get your sauna. So I'm so happy you got
yeah,
your sauna.
yeah.
So that
It's
was a,
all good. Yeah. In fact, if you go on my website and
mhm.
you look at the pictures, you'll see the pictures of Puerto Vallarta and my sauna and my balcony, and where it overlooks the ocean and uh, all that, and the old town Puerto Vallarta. Yeah, and if a person wants to come here to do the program, they may. It's going to be a lot more expensive for them to come here and do it, for many reasons. But it's so inexpensive for them to just do it remotely from
Right.
their own home. Yeah, that
Yeah, like I do.
it's yeah, it's just so simple. It's so simple that way.
It's much
Yeah,
easier that way. All
yeah,
right.
so easy.
So I think that was all of my questions. Oh,
Okay.
is there anything that anyone can do to support you in your efforts? Is there a way that you can receive support?
Oh, the only thing that I can think of is to go on my website and send it to other people.
Okay.
Um, share my website, because there really isn't any. I'm not asking for any kind of donations or anything, um, but I want the word to get out. In fact, I'm thinking about getting a Facebook page for my sauna program, which I have never done that.
Yeah.
And I think I need to do that. Yeah. So that'll be one of my next projects. I've actually got it on my list of things to do. So there's that. But yeah, share, 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 share.
Okay. So thank you for coming, Anita. And I look forward to doing my next detox. I think we're going to start today. So for
Yes.
1 days, we'll be working together. And I
Yes.
definitely want to encourage everyone to do the detox because it really changed my life. And I think that it really helped me to recover from my side effects and my symptoms of treatment a lot faster without causing a lot of permanent damage to my body. So I definitely recommend detoxing your body, even if you haven't had cancer. But we all have
Yeah.
experienced in our life because the world is full of it in our
The
food.
world is full of
It's
it. Yeah.
everywhere. So we have to
And
have the detox. So I wanted to bring someone on that I trust and respect and love. So you guys
thank
can meet
you.
her. And I recommend that you work with her to get your
Yes.
body detox in a natural, effective, safe way. So
Good. And I want you, Marshelle, to tell everyone who wants my uh, phone number or my email address that anybody can have it. That's fine
okay.
with me. Yeah, and you can text me from my phone, of course. So I'm very accessible, and anybody who wants to get a hold of me and ask questions, give me a holler.
Yes. All right. Well, everyone, I
Okay.
want to just say thank you for attending today. Thank you for being here. I'm going to put Anita's information in the comments with her website and how to contact her and reach her. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to ask me or post questions down in the comments. And I am Marshelle Harris. I help cancer survivors advocate for their own health and wellness so that they can navigate through the healthcare system with confidence. And I encourage each and one of you to grab both copies of my books and share them with the world. Thank you.
Yes.
Have a wonderful day. Bye.
Thank you. God bless you.